say welcome to all of you to this very, very special Zoom for Saturday. It's Friday night for us here in the US, but we know for a big part of the marketplace that we're addressing right now, it's Saturday morning. So Zoom for Saturday for you. Thank you for being on the call tonight. I'm sure we've got folks, I haven't looked at all the participants, but we've got folks from, we've called this the Australasian Zoom for Saturday. A pattern after a very successful event we had just like this here in the US last week, and we maxed out the lines, and so we're ready for, if you got somebody that you want to have them tune into this, shoot them a quick text, tell them to come to discoverasia.com, and they're going to get in on one of the great training formats that I think we put together in a very short period of time. We've come together quickly, and we're also going to condense a lot of information into a short period of time. But thank you so much for being here. We probably have folks on from all of our official Asian markets. That would be, of course, I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget one. Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Thailand, Malaysia, and our newest market in Asia, the Philippines. I know we have some folks on from there, and of course all across the United States. And who knows, word's probably leaked out about this event across the other pond. We may have some Europeans checking in. It'll be kind of late at night for them, but you know, network marketers are night owls typically. So thank you all for being here. We've got a great lineup. Appreciate all the folks that have kind of set aside some time on their weekend to help bring this collection of information to you. So thank you. Just sit back and relax. Our chat mode is operational. So if you want to put something in the chat, say hello, you can certainly do that. We'll see if we get a chance to get to some questions. But right now, let's just get to our first presenter. I'm very, very happy tonight that the president of our company, Jarom Webb, has decided to join us. I know he had some family things, and gosh, Jarom, I can tell you, I know this just from talking with him. He has been burning the candle at both ends and probably in the middle, as all of our corporate staff have, just helping things stay running smoothly, especially at this very, very challenging time in our global life. I got to tell you, I told Jarom this personally the other day, and I know I'm on here with as panelists with some other long-term network marketers. I know what it's like to be involved with a company and have questionable confidence in how things are run on the corporate side. And I got to tell you, it is so refreshing and so empowering to those of us in the field just to know that some really, really competent, smart, conscientious folks full of integrity and who actually really do think about us in the field when they make decisions. It's just good to know that they are running the show at the home office, which frees us up to pour our life, our energy, and our mind into this. So Jarom, I want to thank you for taking time. I know it's family time this weekend for you, but you've taken time to be with us. So very, very honored that you would spend a few minutes with this audience tonight. And just please share with us some of your perspective from the corporate. Please, our president, Jarom Webb.
Ed, thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you. And thank you for inviting me and having me on this wonderful call. I want to say hello to all of our amazing associates joining from around the globe in Australia, Asia, United States, all over. It's wonderful to be with you guys. And we think about you every day, and our number one priority always is the health and well-being and success of our associates. So I hope each one of you are doing well. I hope each of you are surviving through this period. It's an interesting time, certainly an unprecedented time that we're going through as a global world and community. I wanted to share my screen here and share a couple of slides with you. Ed, I don't know if you can allow the share screen.
Alyssa is she's kind of the flight engineer for this.
You running it?
So,
she says it's disabled screen share. I can go ahead and share without it, but I had a couple of slides I wanted to see if I could share.
I'm not sure how to make that possible from my perspective.
You know what? It's all good. It's all good, Ed. What I wanted to talk with you tonight is I just wanted to give you guys an update on the corporation and on how things are going at the organization. I don't want to spend a lot of time, but there are really three words that during this global pandemic have come to my mind and that have been weighing on my mind, particularly as we go through this period of turmoil where it seems a bit chaotic and there's a lot of disruption in our lives and there's a lot of things that are going on around us, challenging times economically, health-wise. And there are really three words that have been weighing on my mind that I wanted to share with you tonight. The first one is stability.
Jarom, I think I've been able to share screen, so you want to give it a try?
Yeah, let me see if I can. There we go. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. I actually wanted to start this slide. I pulled a couple of things that my family and I have been kind of, I don't know if you guys have felt this way, but you know, our family has been kind of feeling like this guy, sort of trapped in quarantine, or maybe like this, where we're dreaming of our next travel destination, the kitchen, the bedroom. It's kind of an interesting time to be caught up in the quarantine, or maybe like this, where all gatherings are banned and social distancing in full force. Our family of 8 stuck in the house. You know, this is, I've had this feeling before, of course, as we look at this. Of course, not all sports are canceled, folks. I think that there are definitely opportunities as we all stay at home. Of course, I saw this guy a few weeks ago in Costco, and I took a picture. This is an interesting. I don't know what's going on with the whole run on toilet paper, at least here in the United States, of what's happening. Toilet paper and water. That's I caught that. Of course, I can't wait to see you guys at our global convention and be together with you guys. And I'm probably going to end up looking like this guy as we join together in Anaheim. We're really looking forward to that. Celebrate our 10 years. This is good. This is to kind of get out of the quarantine, if you will, and to stay at home. My daughters, we have an annual Easter tradition where they hold an Easter tea party, and they get together and they get all dressed up and they're doing tea and sandwiches, and it's kind of an Easter tradition. And of course, Cam and I are the servers, the waiters for these girls and their tea party. So that's a picture we took of our family yesterday, actually. And so, you know, I hope everybody's surviving. It's fun to laugh and to have fun and to enjoy amidst times of trial and struggle. And so I thought I'd share a few things with you along those lines. But one of the things that I thought, getting back to what I was saying before, one of the things that I wanted to share with you, 3 words, you know, as we go through times of economic struggle, times of turmoil in the world, one word that comes to my mind is stability. This concept of what can I count on? What's for sure? What do I know for sure? What is stable in my life? And of course, during times of turmoil and challenge, the word hope comes to my mind and weighs heavily on me. In what do I hope for? What can I hope for as I look to improve my life during times of trial and struggle? And of course, the word action. And I wanted to share a couple of thoughts with you related to these 3 words. Of course, as it relates to stability, I want all of our associates to know around the world that the company that you are a part of, ASEA, is a stable company. It's amazing to me to see how we've been able to weather this storm of this global pandemic as an organization. We've had a few hiccups here and there delivering product in certain markets, largely things that are outside of our control. But to be with a company that controls all of the supply chain like we do, where we don't rely on other countries or other third parties for any of our manufacturing, we control the whole process for manufacturing ASEA and Redox, is an amazing thing. And it provides stability in times of turmoil. To be with a company that literally has been preparing for several years to have the entire company work remotely, where the majority of us are able to work from home, including our associate support, and continue to provide service to all of our associates across the globe, is an amazing thing that I'm grateful for. It provides stability in times of trial and times of turmoil. Of course, to have a company that is growing through this pandemic, we've had some of the best sales weeks we've had in the company's history during the last few weeks, as people across the globe, I think, are realizing in a lot of ways that ASEA can provide tremendous benefit during these times. So we've been growing. We're healthy as a company. We don't rely on the stock market. We don't rely on debt. We don't have any debt holders that are holding us hostage or that are demanding payments right now. We have plenty of cash flow in the bank to be able to support the company and sustain the company as we move forward in this. And so I think one of the things that, I think about, and I'm sure you think about, is what is for sure in my life? What can I count on? And I want all of our associates to know across the world that you can count on ASEA, because ASEA is a healthy company. We're as healthy as we've ever been. And I think it stems back to the vision that Vertus had when he started this legacy. It was, I've got to build a healthy, stable, growing enterprise to be able to support a global expansion effort. And of course, during this pandemic that is affecting us all around the world, that stability and that legacy is playing itself out right now. I want to also announce tonight on the call that we were just recognized by the Direct Selling News, the global top 100 companies in our industry, as number 44. And so we are thrilled that that's moving up from number 77 last year. So we've moved from 77 to number 44 on the top global 100 companies in our industry. What a remarkable achievement that you've all had and you've all participated in to make ASEA so successful as we grow ASEA into the future. So I think of the concept of stability. I also think of this word hope. This is the definition of the word hope that I pulled: grounds for believing that something good may happen. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are looking for hope. They're looking for a belief that something good will happen to them amidst all the health challenges, the economic trials that so many people are facing. And I think it's an opportunity for us as an organization to provide that hope, because we have such a powerful and significant solution of hope for so many people across the globe with complete cellular health. When health is a top concern on people's mind, we have a solution. We have hope for people as they look for ways to protect themselves and to stay healthy. We have a very powerful financial opportunity that is blessing people's lives across the globe. And when people are losing their jobs, over 10 million people in the United States alone have lost their job just in the last few weeks. I heard a stat in Australia, over 2 million people have lost their job. So as people are battling economic crisis in their life, we can be a solution of hope, where we can provide an opportunity for people to start a home-based business, to earn some extra income, to support them and their families as they continue to grow. So what an amazing opportunity. And then of course, during times of trial, when we're all inside, to be a part of a culture and a community of people, like-minded people, friends and colleagues that have a common purpose and a common belief and a common vision is an amazing thing when we're all isolated. And there's so many people that may be feeling like they're missing that socializing with the distancing that's going on, but an opportunity to be part of a community and a culture. So it really is, it's embodied for me in our mission statement to better people's lives. ASEA can better people's lives. And I don't think any of us should be afraid to go out and share with people what we have, because it can be such a message of hope for so many people that are struggling right now. The last thing that I'll share with you, and then I'll turn it back because I know that there's a lot of guests that are going to speak to you, but it's this word action. And I think that as we have this stable company and we can provide hope to so many people, I think the next key is to take action. And I think there's so many opportunities, even from your home and with Zoom and with the technology that we have, that we can take action and we can share this message of hope that ASEA brings to so many people. In closing, I just wanted to let you guys know how much we care about you, how grateful we are, how mindful we are of your well-being and that well-being of your families. We hope you're doing well. We think about you often. I want you to know that you can have confidence that we're doing everything that we can to provide a stable business and product opportunity for each of you across the globe. And that 10 years of preparation, 10 years of a vision of legacy that Virtus had, has allowed us to provide that stable platform that you can count on when everything around us is changing, when everything around us is in turmoil. You can count on ASEA as a legacy stable company to back you as you go out and share a message of hope and take action to share that message of hope to so many people. Ed, thanks for letting me get on the call for a few minutes tonight. I sure do love you guys, and I love our leaders and our people across the globe, and we're backing you guys 100%. So thank you so much for letting me take a few minutes and share a few thoughts.
Well, Jarom, thank you. And I know on behalf of several hundred that are on this call right now, we just thank you for being the leader that you are. Leadership is really forged or demonstrated in times like this. It's not when everything is just rosy, but it's amazing to be able to paint a rosy picture in the midst of what we're dealing with. What a silver lining there is to this cloud. And thanks to you and the team that you put together there, we appreciate it. And again, just to be able to have confidence that you guys are in charge is so freeing to us in the field. So enjoy your family time. Thanks to your wife and your kids for sparing you for a few moments this evening. We appreciate it. And can't wait to hear from you again sometime soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, listen, folks, numbers are continuing to climb tonight. So listen, we've got some great presenters ahead here. In fact, I was looking at the lineup. There's only a handful of people in this company that have reached triple ambassador, and we've got 4 that are that rank or above coming up here just in the next few minutes. So listen, if you can get on the phone or whatever device you have, text somebody and say, listen, you got to jump on discoverasea.com right now. Do them a favor. I've been looking at the chat, so we've got people from, all across the marketplace. We've got people from Europe. We've got people all across America, people from south of the border in Mexico, people from all the Asian markets. So this is truly a global webinar tonight, and it's just great to have the folks that have joined us. So listen, one of the voices that has been an absolute voice of credibility and validation in this whole endeavor has been the voice of Dr. David Silberman. David and I go back, gosh, I think almost 20 years. And, him being a part of this venture led credibility to it for me. And he's been a real, I got to compliment guys like him who have all the training that they have on the medical side, but are yet humble enough to realize that there's something here that even though they never heard of this in medical school, they took the time to investigate this and to validate it. And his voice is one of many that are highly credentialed medical professionals that are calling ASEA, they're describing ASEA as the greatest health science discovery of our lifetime. That sounds like an ad slogan thought up in Madison Avenue that a bunch of us marketers would use, but we're only echoing what smart guys like Dr. Silverman are saying. So David, thank you for being here this evening. I know it's a busy weekend for you, but you put aside some time on a Friday night. So it's a real pleasure to turn the time over right now to Dr. David Silberman from somewhere between Washington, D.C. and Florida. I'm not sure where he is right now. I think still in Florida. David, great to have you here. I think you're here, aren't you? Let's see. Well, you know what? I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip it to Deni Robinson. Well, I go find and see if David maybe is here and just isn't ready to be called on yet. So that's okay.
Right. I'd love to.
Hey,
well, hey, everybody.
I got to say a couple of things about Deni. If it wasn't for Deni, I don't think any of us on this call would be here. So Deni, thank you for your vision, your leadership. You've been a friend for 20 years, I guess, as well. And again, you've been a big part of validating this for a lot of folks, me included. So thank you for being here. Take it away.
Oh, thanks so much. Really, it's such a pleasure to be with you and to see hundreds and hundreds of people on here and to know that thousands more are going to get to watch this. Well, everyone, I am so excited about this year, and I want to talk about vision. And I want to talk about how clear is your vision. You know, we are doing something here that nobody else is doing. And we get to come together on these weekends and throughout all the Envisions and Super Saturdays and of course convention to build belief and hone our skill set so we can go out and change the world in a bigger, better way than any of us are doing at this moment. And that's why we've come together today. So a couple of things that I want you to keep in mind. Are you being deliberate and are you being clear? You know, it's said that some people spend more time planning their summer vacation than they do spending their life. And right now we are at a tipping point moment with this company where really I believe every hour that you put forth can be worth at least $100 or more in times in the future. And let me tell you, this company will go from small to big one time, and it is happening now. So what is your vision for 2020? And what do you see for yourself? Because right now we believe you have a dream and your dreams matter. But I want to ask you, what lenses are you looking through? Are you perhaps looking through red lenses, just like this? And are you saying to yourself, well, my team's not big enough, they're not doing enough, they're not enough, I'm not enough, I can't do that, I can't do all the things like David Silberman, I don't know all the things like Jarom Webb, I can't be as articulate as our incredible host Ed Wiens. And what I would do is I would invite you to take them off. You might be looking even through yellow lenses. Also having thoughts of inadequacy. I just can never know enough. I don't think I can talk to enough people, because when I ask you what color is this piece of paper, you might say it's white, and I'm going to say no, it's yellow. And again, take those off, all right? Or you might be running around thinking you're doing all kinds of activity, and really what's happening is you might have these kind of lenses on and you feel a little bit crazy, and that is because you are not being deliberate and being clear in your vision and in your mission of what you want to accomplish. One thing that I would certainly recommend that you do is that you can put on some lenses like this, all right? Because I believe that when we are grateful for what we have, we are grateful for what the future can hold, it's amazing what will start to happen in your life. So I would recommend that you stand tall in your purpose and in your vision. I know that every single leader that you will be hearing on this call has done the same thing. And of course, there is no straight path to the peak. I could tell you the stories of Danny Doyle. I could tell you the stories of Bart Kotter, David Silberman, and the others that are going to be on here. And let me tell you, there have been checks and balances and big rocks and boulders that they have had to overcome. And right now we are going through one as well. But let me tell you, I believe that this season will pass. And right now you should be talking to as many people as you can, because there's also a sowing season and a reaping season, and they are never in the same season. So make sure that you're reaching out to people, letting them know that we offer hope. I believe that big, beautiful bottle that we have is hope in a bottle. It's a health opportunity for people everywhere. I know without a shadow of a doubt, no matter where I go or who I meet, that I have something that can make a difference in their health or their wealth, or perhaps both. And let me tell you, when your vision is strong, that is very attractive to people. People want to follow someone who has a big vision. And today you're going to be hearing from just those kind of people. And if your vision isn't quite strong enough, that's why we recommend that you are on these calls. You are on the Super Saturdays until your vision is big enough. And let me tell you, I believe that imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Visualization is, again, one of your greatest gifts. So make sure that you're very, very clear about what you want your vision to look like, and then dial it down to the most minutia of things that you need to do. Let me tell you, I am so grateful for the visionary that we have of Burdish Norton. Long before we got to this place, he imagined, he knew what this company could be. And let me tell you, 10 years ago, he grabbed my hand and he said, Deni, what this will be in a few months and a few years and many years down the road, you just can't even imagine. And I believed him. And the more people I put the product on, literally the more miracles that I saw, and my vision kept getting larger. And right now around the world, you guys, the same winds are blowing on us all. But it's going to be what is going to happen with your life and in your business when the world slows down a little bit. Things are going to be a little bit different, but I know we have a product that everybody needs that truly makes a difference. I have friends from around the world who I've seen their health get better, and I have seen their lives change through the incredible opportunity of ASEA. So right now, also one of the best things that you can do is to help your team members see the vision of who they can become and help them keep moving forward, keep stepping forward, one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, because you are going to have obstacles. It's not always going to be easy, but that's why we're here today. Let me tell you, I believe that in the last 10 years, we have cleared the jungle, we have taken the machetes, we have brought in the bulldozers, laid the tracks so that you can start to grow your business however you would like. And there are tipping moments that are going to happen, and I'm going to ask you, when are the tipping moments going to happen in your life? Because literally a momentum will start to occur that you cannot stop. The vision of Burdish Norton, you can't stop. And I'm coming to you today because I actually have a clarifying vision. I know what's happened over the last 10 years with this company, and I have a great big bold vision of what's going to happen over the next 5 and 10 years. And one of the saddest things that will happen for you is if in a few years you said, gosh, I was on a call in March of 2020, and they talked about this great big bold vision, and I didn't take advantage of it. Now, right now, I would also recommend that you might have this great big vision, but you might only be right here. What I would recommend is that you keep your eyes on that vision and you do not focus on the gap. You keep, of course, propelling one foot in front of the other, putting those basic essential movements in place so you can start to grow your business. We're excited to be offering more of these Zoomer Saturdays for you so that we can be bringing more incredible speakers for you. All right, here's the last thing, everyone. Let's see how many people we have on this call. Hundreds and hundreds. I would like you to close your eyes and think for yourself. All of these people are on my team. And more than that, you're at convention and you've already walked across stage with the accolades of perhaps being whatever new rank it is that you're looking for. But more than that, all of these people that are on this call today, they are in your team. And you're watching them as well, being recognized for different things that they have also accomplished. And one thing, they're coming across stage and coming down to the bottom and they're saying to you, and they're holding your face saying, thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for continuing to call me and plug me in because you believed in me. You guys make sure that you're believing in yourself and you're believing in your team and see what starts to happen. So Be deliberate, be clear, and have a great big vision for 2020. And with that, Ed, back over to you.
Thank you, Deni. Appreciate it so much. Thank you again for your vision and for having patience along with your vision for some of us who are slower to get the picture.
But Ed, now aren't I glad that we continued? Because again, you can have the right person, but it be the wrong time. And we knew that if Ed Wiens could see what we knew, he could affect and change countless lives. And that's exactly what happened. So you guys, keep talking to people, keep going back to them, because we have world changers. We have influencers out there like Ed. And I'm so grateful that we went back to you too, Ed. So thanks for all you do.
Thank you, Deni. Dr. David Silberman is here. I already gave you a great introduction, David. I don't know if you heard it, but in case you didn't, I really built you up. Man, I had you winning a Nobel Prize, Olympic athlete. I think you've won a Masters before in golf. I mean, just the accolades go on. So, David, it's great to have you here tonight as a colleague and as a real voice of credibility in this business. Dr. David Silberman, take it away.
Ed, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. No, I was here. I couldn't get to you. Thanks,
right.
Deni. Thanks, Deni, for taking my spot because I couldn't get in. And great advice. First of all, I just want to say I hope everybody is okay right now. Scary time for a lot of people, not as scary for us as the general public, because that's what I'm going to be talking about here in just a minute, how to optimize your health here. But I'm just sending out prayers that you and your family are safe, and this will pass. I don't think it's going to end up being the way the experts say it's going to be. This will pass. But stay safe, and for now, stay away from people. Just wanted to state how grateful I am for a lot of things. One is that we know about ASEA. Number two, people doing this meeting tonight. Ed, Deni, David, Bart, Bo, Alan, Mal, Dan, and grateful for all of you. We know about something before the rest of the planet knows about it. And I always say it's a gift for humanity. And honest to God, that I believe that down to my bones. And so grateful for all these people. I'm grateful for Jarom. I'm grateful for, we're just so lucky. And if ever you feel down about anything, whether it's about anything you feel down about, just think how fortunate we are to know about this now. I want to mention something that I don't know if it's going to come up or not. When I'm going to talk about optimizing health, it's going to take me 4 minutes. Okay, so I'm taking part of my 10 minutes to say something I think is really cool. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, we got into the top 100 in multi-level marketing companies, 90 something. And the year before last, we were 77. This year, we're 44. I knew this was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen faster, but it's starting to catch on. I have no doubt this will be the biggest network marketing company in the history of the world. I mean, Amway's been the biggest, the only company that's ever done 10 billion. Now they're like 8.5 or something like that. We'll be bigger than Amway. We have a product that's nothing wrong with Amway, but we have something, literally the breakthrough of our lifetimes, and it's such a relevant product, especially now. Also, there was an article in Business for Home. We came in, it was the fastest growing companies from last year to this year, 18 to 19. And some people I've talked to don't realize how significant it is. That we're, I think, 59. We're in the 50s somewhere. But if you look at the companies that are ahead of us, majority of them did not exist in 2018. So they have these percentages of growth of 3,000%, 800%. We all know that there's over a 90% chance that none of those companies will be in existence in 5 years. Where are we going to be in 5 years? So you've got to look at that relatively and say, well, you look at all these companies. Look at the stable companies that are ahead of us there. There's only a couple. And most of the big companies, the big legacy companies that are here for good, they're at 0% growth or -% growth. It's a big deal that we're over 40% growth. So when you look at that chart, look at it carefully. And if you're explaining to somebody, make sure they understand that most of those companies didn't exist a year ago, and they're probably not going to exist in a couple more years anyway. Okay, so optimizing health, especially in today's day and age. Let me share my screen real quick. I'm only going to share a couple of things. One is that I did, and one is that Alan did, actually. Let's see. So a lot of people have seen the video 6minutes6reasons.com, and by far the top 3 reasons people look at this, by far, initially, they go into one of these 3 buckets, right? Looking at it for a health issue for themselves, existing health issue for someone they love, anti-aging benefits. Athletic performance is another one, but number 5 and 6 probably make up, I'd say, less than 20% of the people that are seriously looking at this, and not just looking at Google, right? And those reasons are protecting your health and an opportunity. Well, today, those 2 things are huge. Those 2 are jump out above the other ones right now. No one cares about their wrinkles right now. No one cares about their athletic performance right now. But people do care about protecting their health and optimizing their health. People have had a wake-up call about an opportunity. Number one, most people's income has stopped, and they're really worried about when is it going to start again? When will the economy get back again? So be bold calling people. Use the webinars that we have in place. It's a great one taking place right after this, 15 minutes after this one ends, with Dr. Maureen Hayes and 2 dentists and Jimmy Glenn, twice a week, twice a day, on Monday through Friday. In the US, there's one. So just make use of all those things. So I want to share with you something. Well, let me stop sharing first. Okay. So one thing we noticed, we can't make any claims about this product with regards to disease. We just can't. Don't. Okay. It's not a drug. We can't do that. You know, they're talking about the virus that's going on, and hydroxychloroquine and Zithromax and all these things. That's great. They can claim that if they want to, because those are drugs. All right. Whether they're effective or not remains to be seen. We cannot make claims, but we can use common sense. Here are a couple things I want you to think about. What demographic, age-wise, is more susceptible to dying from this? Older people or younger people? Okay, we all know the answer to that, right? Younger people seem to do better. Why is that? Every doctor will say they have a more robust immune response. Okay? We can't claim this stimulates the immune system, but we can claim that it turns the genes back on, the signaling genes that have genetic expression that controls the innate immune system. Okay? Can't make a claim, okay? But as I say, who's dying from this? Younger people, their genes are turned on. Older people's genes have turned off. So when you look at, if you go to one of the easiest places to find it is just go to Alan's great site, amazingmolecules.com. Scroll down to the bottom and go to the gene study summary. And scroll down to the genes that it turns on, 20 to 31%. You know, we cannot make claims, but it's just, if genes are turning off as we age, and one or several of them control the immune system, and it's proven that this product in a double-blind study turns genes back on that control that, then it's common sense, right? So, you know, please don't make any claims with this, but if you look at the upper left dark blue corner, innate immune system, okay? So when people say, what's the best thing to be doing right now for health? Look, I'm not the expert in the world on the immune system or medicine, okay? I know enough. There's some other doctors on the board that know a lot more about medicine than I do. But this is common sense stuff. I used to drink 4 ounces a day of this. I felt, 20 years younger. I started drinking 8 ounces a day. As Harry Wan says, the magic 8. I started feeling like I'm 25 years old. I can do things that I play golf. Now my golf course is closed. I'm looking at it right here. I used to play 18 holes of golf, take ibuprofen before and after, and I was still sore. Now I play 36 holes, and I don't take anything. I take 8 ounces a day. But I'll tell you what, I take more right now. You know why? 2 reasons. It cannot hurt me to take more at all, and it's proven that it turns the genes on that control the immune system. So I would advise, number one, people drink up and drink more. Do the proper, how to use redox.com. I shot a video, how to use redox.com, hold your mouth for 60 seconds, so forth. Also, get sleep. Get enough sleep. your immune system, your body rejuvenates itself when you sleep. Do what you have to do to try to get 8 hours of sleep. I'm getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning lately, and I'm getting 8 hours sleep. And I usually don't get 8 hours sleep, but I'm keeping my immune system as strong as I can. Because if I get it, I want my immune system to fight it the way my immune system would have fought it when I was 15 years old. So eat right, sleep, get enough sleep, double up on what you're taking temporarily, stay healthy. So Ed, I'll turn it over back to you, and thanks for asking me to be here. And everybody, we're doing this again on the same bat time, same bat channel here tomorrow at 1 o'clock New York time, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've got a training I'm doing on promotion, how to promote things. So Ed, thanks so much for asking me to be here.
Hey, thank you, David. Again, appreciate your vision and your leadership. You've benefited. You've created a huge wake that a whole bunch of us that aren't even connected to you in the business. We're all in the ship together. So thanks. Appreciate so much your leadership.
Thank you, Ed.
Our next presenter is a guy that I've looked up to ever since I met him. Part of that's because he's about 6'14" tall. Not really, 6'7", 6'8", something like that. But you know what? Bo's not just a big. It's Bo. And, truthfully, I was talking with some folks today, a couple three-way calls today, and one lady specifically talked about how more mindful she is right now about the need to be ready so should something like this ever happen again. And boy, that's the epitome of drilling your well before you're thirsty, before you need it. So Bo, you certainly modeled that. Again, thank you. You're one of the pioneers of this whole endeavor here in North America. So thanks to you and Cindy for your leadership. And no pun intended, but right now the buck stops with you. So you got it.
Thank you very much, Ed. I really appreciate you having me here. I'm honored to be on screen with Down Under and beyond. To go through this story a little bit about the viability of ASEA as a plan B, I want to just quickly share Cindy's and my story a little bit. We've been with ASEA 10 years this next month on May 23rd. And what happened at that time when ASEA found us, or when we found ASEA, we were both working hard. I was working 16-hour days. I was basically building a 1860s Western town to museum grade for a billionaire. And let me tell you, I was definitely building someone else's dream and someone else's asset. And I realized that in the different careers I've had, one being construction management, the other in seafood importing, whenever I was working and getting paid for it, remunerated for it, I was building someone else's asset, and that frustrated me, and Cindy as well. And because of that, I wanted to get out of the corporate world. Cindy shared my vision with that, to say the least, so much so that she took the reins of this when we got started. It's so frustrating to think about how people basically just leverage other people to build their dreams all the time. They say if you're not out there and planning on building your own dream and your own asset, well, someone else is actually going to hire you to build their dream and asset. And that's the way I felt the whole time. But bottom line, when we found ASEA, Cindy and I went in, our friends, Chuck and Tammy Gates, shared ASEA with us. We flew to Utah, met with the founders, the corporate executives, and to make a long story short, we were absolutely blown away. We did not totally understand what was going on with this technology, but we saw the executive team, we saw the leadership behind this company, and we were ready to follow. Their vision was just amazing. So we came home, and basically I went back to work for Money Today, and Cindy basically jumped in with 2 feet, went to work to get me out of my job. And it is not something that happens easily. It is work, network marketing. But after 26 months, Cindy had made the income that was necessary for me to be able to leave my job. And I figured I'd just stay for, through the end of the year to pay off some bills, et cetera. And lo and behold, the very next month on a family vacation, I had gotten a medical challenge and I wasn't able to go back to work. We had 2 kids in college, we had a big mortgage, And the bottom line is, if we hadn't started working on our plan B before we needed our plan B, we would have lost everything. And our kids would have been out of college, and there just would have been, nothing positive going on right there. So if you're not working on your own dreams, definitely get the plan in place. Another thing about that, I just want to share, as far as getting your plan B done. If you wait until you need your plan B to start your plan B, you're in a lot of trouble, right? Because life can definitely throw you curveballs. And, we didn't know about it. I don't know if you know about it, but over the past 10 years, we started to work with ASEA, and there were some curveballs thrown our way. And frankly, there were 5. 3 family illnesses that can put a ton of stress, financial burden on the family. But we had 3 family illnesses. We had 1 possible death accident and recovery from that, which took time, energy, and capital, as well as, here we are, guys, 1 global pandemic. It's a huge curveball that's been thrown to all of us here. But the bottom line is, during all 5 of those situations, there wasn't one Friday where we didn't receive a check. Our income continued to come in. We know multiple ASEA associates who've had, they've had to put their business on hold because of a family illness, and have been able to, be with their sick friend, sibling, or parent. And in each case, when they took their eyes off the ball, every Friday a check came in. This is something that's super important about being in network marketing. It's a huge, huge accolade for network marketing, and it's a huge, huge accolade for ASEA that you can build a foundation in a business like this that can be so powerful. Some of those people that went and were with their parents as they were sick and through the end of their lives, their siblings were actually frustrated and angry with them because they couldn't be there as often to help and to be with their parents. So keep that in mind, because it's just so important that we can be there when we need to, and that we can build this asset, a willable asset called ASEA. Talking about family like that, we might as well talk about the elephant in the room. Reaching out to your friends and family during these trying times can be super, super challenging. But guys, what's your mindset? What's your thought about ASEA? What's your thought about what David was mentioning in terms of how big this is, how huge it is, and how it can help turn on genes that affect the immune system? So trust me, there are people out there that are praying for this. They're praying for this to come. I'm not saying that you want to pounce on your friends and family, but you don't want to exclude them from one of the best things that we've all heard about probably ever in our lives, certainly in terms of our own health and our own wealth. We have the solution. We have the solution for physical health. We also have a solution for fiscal health. And, so why hold back from your family? I tell you, the global environment today changes everything. Everybody's at home. Everybody has some time to review the information you want to share with them, to be on a 3-way call with you. People that weren't looking for this before, people that are high up in different industries, et cetera, they're looking for a business right now. They're looking for an opportunity. And I promise you, they're not looking for the opportunity that costs them $500,000 or $250,000 to get started, because 99 times out of 100, the return on that investment and the timeline for that return is probably 3 to 5 years for that to even kick in. So when you've got a low barrier to entry, like $40 US to get involved and associate yourself with a company such as ASEA, man, it is a tremendous opportunity. And right now you kind of got to pass when it comes to calling people and asking them if they want to look at your business, if they'd be interested in your business. It's not some aggressive play. It's, hey, I've got something that you may be interested in, you may not, but it's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity. And this environment has really made it more real for us to get involved with people that have higher influence. Let's see here. I was actually scrolling through Facebook this morning, just trying to do some posts, etc., and came across a post that somebody shared. I've heard this before, but it's a Chinese proverb. I'm going to read this here. It says, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now." Basically, that means that in order for you to, if you want success and growth for your future, the best time to act is now. I remember hearing Tyler Norton just the other night talking about AAA, baby, AAA, and that's activity absorbs anxiety. So if you're anxious hanging out at home, wondering where things are coming, I'm sure people that you would be calling are anxious about what's going on. When are we going back to work? How am I going to get paid, etc. You want them to get started now, and you want to share what you have. So for many of us, the Plan B in ASEA has turned into our Plan A, and we're still excited about it, as I'm sure you can hear in our voices. As you've heard, ASEA's amazing product, technology, company, executive team, and much more to say the least, but ASEA is the perfect solution for so many, just in general, certainly during the challenges that are going on in the world today. It's very, very challenging. People out there are at home. We hope that everything is going well with your families at home. We just want to make sure that we're sharing with you what it is that is activity that you can do now that can absorb your anxiety. In conclusion, I'm trying to be really quick here. If in the future life throws you some curveballs, you and your family some curveballs or two, you want to make sure that you've already started on your Plan B and established working in an opportunity like this. So with that, I will get it back to you, Ed. Hope it wasn't too long. Trying to be brief.
Great, Bo. Appreciate your perspective. I mean, you've lived it, and you've lived out the reality of this. So again, being around 10 years, we all owe you guys pioneers that helped just lay the foundation that a lot of folks are benefiting from today. So thanks to you and Cindy for your leadership. Appreciate it so much. All right, our next presenter is a guy that probably has modeled treating this as a business, not as a hobby, more than just about anybody I know. It's always been said in this business that if you treat this like a business, you can get business results. If you treat it like a hobby, you'll get hobby results. And Dan Doyle from, sometimes from Australia. It's hard to know where Dan's from, originally from Australia, but I think right now he's in Los Angeles. But you never know on any given day where Dan is on planet Earth. But, I remember hearing about Dan early on when he was looking at ASEA. And of course, he illustrates a point that I've said many, many times when you're talking about making your list of people. You know who you know, but you don't know who they know. I knew Bart Kotter, who we'll hear from in a little bit. Bart knew Danny. I didn't know Danny, but because Bart knew Dan was curious enough about this as a business that he got on. It wasn't just go to a website. It wasn't just check this out. He got on a plane and flew to Salt Lake City and to sit there and look at this company, look at the folks eyeball to eyeball, and had his experience. They probably didn't have time to go into that right now. But Dan, thank you for your leadership. You've been a global ambassador, one of the very few that's reached the ranks of triple ambassador. By the way, I should have mentioned Dr. David Silberman is a new triple ambassador diamond. But Dan, you've just, you've established a track record here that's absolutely impressive. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for being on this call tonight. I know you've had some power issues there in LA. Hope everything's okay and hope you're still connected. So with all that, I hope Dan Doyle's with us. Dan, are you here?
Yeah, can you hear us, Ed?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look at that scene behind you. Is that a virtual webcam? Are you really there?
It makes us feel a lot better. And
it's moving.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. I'm not going to keep this on, and I'll probably even go off video because I am having some challenges. But just want to thank you, Ed, and Danny, Alan. I mean, all you leaders are reaching out to even us leaders with what's going on at the moment, which is fantastic. We're having discussions around what's happening and how we're going to move this forward. So thank you and really appreciate it. And I know, Ed, we spoke a couple of days ago, you believe that this crisis is going to be over sooner rather than later, and I hope and pray that this is the case and everybody gets through this unscathed and they're not going to have any health challenges from it. David Silberman said the same thing. We will get through this. We're obviously going to get through this. I don't know personally when we're going to get through this, but I can tell you when we do, it will be the end of the beginning. It will be the end of the beginning. So once this is all over, this will be the beginning for all of us. You got to, excuse me, I'm going to switch over to just taking my video off because as I said, I haven't got too much power left and I'm hotspotting devices here. So these have been challenging times. I'm here in Hollywood, and you would never have imagined what we're going through, and that, you know, even being here amongst movie town, that, and I said this the other day, that Hollywood could never, ever come up with a script like this. Just unprecedented times, and amazing what we're going through at the moment. You guys have been sitting at home, probably thinking a lot more than what you normally think. I know I have. Thinking about what's happening now, thinking about what we've done in the past, thinking about what's going to happen in the future. That, you know, it's daunting times. But, you know, I think what you've got to think of, and what I have been thinking of, or if you have thought of this, have you thought about the opportunity that we have had in our hands, in the palm of our hands? Have you thought about what you could have done with this in the past to be in a better position today? And I wanted to bring that up because I want you to think about what's happening right now and how you can change things around now to make it better for when we come out of this. So just have a think about that. And I'm going to talk about having a home-based business and how we used to build our business when we first started, when I was back in Australia. And you know, I wasn't traveling the world. I mean, so one of the most incredible things we have right now in network marketing is that we can build a global business as fast as we want or as slow as we want, but obviously faster is better. And we can do it in the comfort of our own homes. There's literally no cost to that, and you know, minimal challenges when it comes to doing that because of all these incredible platforms. So take you back 5 years when we were sitting in Sydney in the second bedroom that we had as my office, and 98% of what I used to do was literally pick up the phone and build this business from home. We had Zoom, we had some various platforms. I mean, I'm one of the most technically challenged people in the whole planet. Probably, you know, Sword and I are probably on par with that, but we do have some incredible platforms we can build this business. So let's go back then. And I built this like I was in survival mode, and that's what we have to do now. And realistically, that's what we have to do every single day. Get up and build this like we're in survival mode. I mean, we've got hundreds and hundreds of people on this call, and I'm sure of you, all, you know, not all of you are doing well. And I'm sure there's some, you know, difficult situations that people are in at the moment. So we'd be bringing on, you know, people that we knew, and I only knew a handful of people outside of Australia at the time. So it's not as if I built a huge global business like I've got now very fast back then. So we used to bring people on, and something that people asked me when I first started building this business, and this is going down to literally the nuts and bolts of how we did this without, you know, utilizing or capitalizing on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, or anything. So this was literally, you know, belly to belly stuff and picking up the phone. But that's 98% of what I did was in my house. 2% of the time was going out doing face-to-face meetings and also presentations and meetings. But we've got to think we're in lockdown now. People are in quarantine, so we can't go out and see people. So when I used to bring somebody into my business, I used to make sure as soon as they came on board, I tapped into their contacts. So I wouldn't wait for people to get me on three-way calls. I wouldn't wait for them to, you know, arrange anything, to be honest. I literally got a list off them of their 10, 20, 50, 100 most influential people they know, and I used to pick up the phone on their behalf. So I never depended on anybody that I brought on board to build my business, as we shouldn't, and as we shouldn't depend on our downline, upline, or crossline to build our business as well. The only person we can depend on is ourselves. And I can tell you, if you want to build a huge organization and make a lot of money, and I'm not going to disrespect our ethos or take anything away from the ethos of the company, because that's what the company leads with, and that's one of the main reasons why I got involved. But I can tell you, if you want a big check, if you want to make big money each week, you need to build globally. And, you know, those 6 and 7 figure incomes more than likely won't come unless you are building into other markets. And this is something we can do in the luxury of our own home. So if you want to build big, you need to start locally. Obviously, you can't go outside of your house and have your meetings or anything. You've got that little thing called a phone and start tapping into your contacts. A lot of these guys that have spoken today about reaching out to people. And that's what we need to do right now, is to reach out to people and pick up the phone, start a conversation. And if you do that, what will end up happening with those people, if they get involved, and when they get involved, you'll end up tapping into their contacts and so on, and you'll end up by default going into other markets. So my business did go into other markets because I did look to depth within my business to find people that knew people in other markets. So that was part of my strategy. So think of that as part of your strategy. Sword always talks about you can't depend on one market anyway. I mean, in a situation like this, we've been affected in all markets. But I mean, that's a negative thing, but I'm going to talk about the positive things and the, how we can. So another important thing is to make sure that every single person that you know gets onto calls like this. So if you actively are getting people onto Zoom calls, I'm not talking about just getting people that are guests onto another Discover ASEA. Get people onto a call like this. Let them discover, let them find out what the network marketing industry is all about. We have a lot of credible speakers on this call. Get them onto a call like this, even if they haven't been exposed to our product, our technology, our business, because even people talking at the level they are talking from, with the people on this call, they're going to get an understanding of the support and the professionalism that we are in, the actual business and business model we're involved in, and they're going to get a great idea that this is bigger than anything they could ever imagine, and they can get involved in building a home-based business, which a lot of people are looking for now. Make sure you're using an expert. Don't handle conversations yourself. A lot of us are going to be reaching out to people now. Peak interest when you're building your business from home. It's exactly what we do all the time. Peak interest. If you're trying to explain this to somebody that you know, you're going to lose them and burn them. So just make sure that you're piquing interest with something. Oh, Ed, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, Dan. We can hear you.
Okay.
Yep.
Just checking. Okay. Am I rambling too much?
Nope, you're good. Thank you. I mean, we're at your 10 minutes, if that's good.
Oh wow. Let me quickly wrap up. Sorry.
Okay.
Put
a bow on it. Put a big ribbon on it.
I'm about 10% of the way through, but I'll quickly wrap up.
Okay.
So I can't emphasize the importance, guys. Cannot emphasize the importance to stay connected with your team, to reach out to people. But I mean, that's something we've got to do all the time. It's so easy to close the gap today with all of the amazing platforms and technology. We can build a business into 33 markets. We can truly build a global business. We're plugging into the infrastructure of the company. They've spent tens of millions of dollars on putting that together. We don't have to worry about all that. Can you still hear us? Thumbs up?
Yeah, your audio's a little sketchy, Dan, so we're struggling a little bit.
Okay, we have the ability to reach people globally and build a global business right from the comfort of our home. We can do that through Zoom, WhatsApp, Messenger, guys. Make sure you're using all these tools, platforms. You might think that it's daunting to build a global business because of time zone differences, because of the support you need to give to people, because of the language barrier. Don't worry about all of this. It will come together. Reach out to your upline for support. They will help you. And right now, people are looking for home-based businesses. Home-based businesses are going through the roof. It's actually 16 million people in the last 2 weeks that are on unemployment benefits now here in the States. I've been through a crisis similar but different to this. It's disruptive, but I can tell you our product and our technology and our breakthrough is more disruptive. Seize the moment. Don't take advantage of anybody. And guys, we've got something very special in the palm of our hands here, and just make sure you capitalize, utilize everything that we have. Do the best you can in these times. Build your business, and you're going to have an incredible future when we come out at the back end of this.
Fantastic, Dan Doyle. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I don't know anybody who is more of a global thinker, has a global perspective any more than you do. It's got to be an amazing thing, Dan, for wherever you are, to know that the sun never sets on your business. And we appreciate your leadership. All of ASEA owes you that of gratitude for just, you've raised the tide for so many folks. And so thank you for taking a few minutes in the midst of your challenge there. When you flipped that screen on, I saw that surfing beach behind you. I thought, come on, I mean, it's just not fair that you could work from a place like that. Now I realize it's a computer generated image. You just can't believe what you see anymore. But thank you, Dan. You're believable. Thank you, brother. All right. You know, one of the reasons why we can build globally from wherever we are, and keep in mind, I'm an old school network marketer. Some of you on this Zoom tonight are as well. And, you know, I came at this from the age of fax machines and payphones. And to have the technology we have that we're modeling right now today, I was telling somebody when the whole concept of video communication kind of first showed up on the radar screen, I had folks telling me to try to spend $10,000 to get a certain kind of a phone line run to my home, certain kind of computer that I had to have. We're doing that today from portable devices we can pack around in our hands. It's just amazing to have this technology. But so social media has become an information superhighway that we can leverage in this business. You know, other industries may have their purposes for creating things like radio, television in its day, and now the internet, but we get to come along and take advantage of all that technology. And one of the really powerful young voices, in fact, I think thankfully she's on this panel tonight because she lowers the average age down for all of us. Alyssa is one of those second generation network marketers. She's Deni's daughter, but she is a leader in her own right, and she's a visionary, and she's learned how to really master the powerful medium of social media. So Alyssa, thank you for helping out on this call tonight. And if you would just take a few minutes and share some of your useful expertise about how to leverage the tools that we've all been gifted here. Alyssa Favreau, normally from Florida, but I think tonight still up in Spokane, Washington. Alyssa, you got it.
I am. Well, thank you so much, Ed. And it's such an honor and privilege to be here on this Zoom with all of you. I know that we can't be gathered in a large room together, but I certainly feel your love and energy here as we have over 400 people on this Zoom. I know we've got over 50 people watching on Facebook Live. Really does show the incredible use of technology now. And, you know, a lot of these speakers were talking about really changing your focus, changing your mindset. You know, a lot of us might be discouraged because we can't host meetings right now. But I will tell you that using social media right now, there has never been a more incredible time to use social media. My team, we are experiencing the kind of receptiveness that we have never experienced before by reaching out to new people, using Facebook primarily. More people are responding, more people are available, more people are open to new opportunities, more people are open to our products. And so I really do hope that the encouragement that you've received thus far really does encourage you that it is still possible to really build and even expand your business during this time, and to change your focus to really be able to leverage the tools that we have available. And so what I want to talk to you a little bit about is our ASEA ATM system, which really can be a direct reflection of your ATM right now, but what it stands for is for add, tag, and message. So I just want to talk about what it is really quickly, and how does it work, and then really how do you maximize your results with this system that we have in place on Facebook. So I'm just going to really quickly share my screen and show you these groups, because there's no way that I can really describe everything I want to tell you in these few minutes that I have with you. But what I can do is point you to ASEA United, which is our ASEA Associates Only Facebook group. It is searchable for those associates. If you're not a member right now of any of these groups, please contact your upline and have them add you to these groups. Now, ASEA United, you're going to be able to take a look at the announcements. So first, take a look at the announcements. There is an entire video that has been done how to use our ATM system. But the other thing I point you to right now is our units that are available in ASEA United. It lays it out. There's several different units that are available, getting started, product knowledge, FAQ. But what I want to point you to is growing your social media business. Now, there are scripts in that particular unit. There are ways to how to do a three-way chat, how to leverage Facebook groups in order to really build your ASEA business. So I will point you to our ASEA United group as far as what is this ATM system. So now, really, how does it work, right? So we have these three primary groups that I'm going to point you to right now, our ASEA United, and then we have our ASEA Healthy Self group, which is a group of over 127,000 people who are all members to add third-party validation for you right now. And so ASEA Healthy Self, you know, when you have prospects that are interested in our products, there is a video that's right here in the announcement of ASEA Healthy Self that you can tag people in. So you've been using some of these scripts that are available in ASEA United to contact people using social media. Perhaps you were talking to someone about immune system, because that's a pretty popular topic right now. And you know, maybe you say something in terms of, hey, you're talking to a person named Sarah. Hey, Sarah, I'm going to add you to this incredible community of people who have had similar experiences to what you are looking for. And I'm going to tag you in a video that explains a little bit about a product, a little bit about our technology, as well as tag you in my experience with the products and some other people's experiences. And then feel free to just be a fly on the wall and scroll through some of these incredible results. You really are going to be blown away. So I've added them to this community. I've added them to this group, ASEA Healthy Self. If you're not aware of how to add people, how to find specific stories, you will be able to find those resources again in ASEA United. So once you've done that, you're going to send them a message, send them a direct message. And really the money is in Messenger, in Facebook Messenger. It's right up here in Facebook Messenger. You're going to be able to send someone a message. And really talk about the fortune is in the follow-up. The money is in Facebook Messenger. And that's how you're going to be able to follow up with people. We also have our ASEA Wealthy Self group, where if whatever it is direction that the conversation is going, you're going to be able to leverage either ASEA Healthy Self or ASEA Wealthy Self, whether you're talking about the products, whether you want to introduce them really to the business opportunity that's available with ASEA. Now, the last thing that I want to really cover really quick is, well, how do I maximize my results with this system? Well, really start adding 5 to even 10 new people every single day as a friend on Facebook, and start taking them through our ATM system. Start using and leveraging those scripts that are available in ASEA United, leveraging ASEA Healthy Self, leveraging ASEA Wealthy Self, but also leveraging all of the Discover ASEA events that we have right now. We have never had this many online events going on, and I am just excited about the opportunity that we have to really expand our business, to introduce so many new people to our incredible business opportunities. So Ed, I will pass it back over to you, and thank you so much for your time tonight, everyone.
Thank you, Alyssa. Just thank you for you handle stuff so easily that a lot of us find more challenging to do. So maybe that's just a generational thing, but thank you for your youthful enthusiasm and your energy and your competence. And so many people don't know that a whole lot of what goes on behind the Deni Robinson image is really Alyssa making her look good and making all the information. So thank you on behalf of all of us for what you do that probably people don't even ever know that you do. But for just adding all that content that people can go on there and learn. Thank you so much. Most of us that are parents or grandparents, we think our kids think us as ATM machines. And so we're having to learn that ATM means something far more productive in this business than just what our kids think we are. So thanks, Melissa. Appreciate you being there to help out. All right, we're going to jump across the pond now and listen to another presenter from Australia. At least I think he's in Australia. You never know where David He is going to be. I think he and I were kind of playing leapfrog in the Philippines recently, and I know he's in different parts of the world. He's another global thinker. I see him popping up in Portugal and wherever else. But David, you know, David's a great guy. I love being around David. He's a good golfer, and so I'm learning some things from him on the golf course. He's also, and I've never really explored this part of your past, David, but I know you have been a ballet dancer at a very, very high level. Somebody told me recently in a presentation you did a little spin around thing on the stage that kind of had everybody wowed. So I don't know if you're gonna do that tonight for us, but it's great to have you here. You're a global builder. You're a great team leader, triple diamond. David He from, I think, Melbourne, Australia tonight. David, great to have you here.
Thank you guys. It's honored to be here with all of the diamonds from ASEA. It is a very unique time, as Dan and everybody was said. I'm super grateful for the opportunities and that we all in this ASEA family, because I was saying to my wife, you know, if it wasn't for ASEA, we whatever you see behind it, it's not going to be here. You're not going to have, we're not going to live the place we're living. As you all know, I come from a small business owner. If this was happened 3 years ago, I said on my Facebook, I would be for sure bankrupt. Like I wouldn't be able to close one day for my business to able to sustain my family's income. Super grateful. The past few months has been a very, very good time for me. I know a lot of families, people out there are suffering, but I think everybody, I learned one thing is to use this time to actually upgrade ourselves, to upgrade our skills, and to like what Ed said, you know, thank God I have to go out on the street shopping every day with my kids. So I don't have to be the ATM. Today I'm going to share a little bit of my topic is the power of listening. I'm going to share my screen here. So I think in this very special time, the one skill that I think we want to obtain is the power of the listening. As you know, I went through this business, and I had a look at all the profile of all the big diamonds. And I was thinking, you know, they all share one common thing. They all have different styles. Some very outgoing, some very introvert people, but they all share one thing, that they are very, very good communicator. When you're becoming a very, very good communicator, one thing is to you have unbelievable capability to actually listen. What I mean listen is not actually listening, just listening. So now, what is the simple definition of listening? So paying attention to someone or something. So we're saying that pay attention and to hear what someone has said and understand that is serious, important, or true to them. So I'm going to bring out 3 words today: attention, hear, and understand. I think this is very, very important. Even today, when we're at home, when you want to communicate with somebody, and all you need to do is to actually pay attention that you know you're going to be there for them. And when this pandemic over, it's going to be over, like Dan said, it's going to be over sooner or later, and you're going to build a very, very strong relationships. Now, if you haven't read this book, I would suggest you to read it. It's very, very simple book to read it, and it's Stephen Covey's best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, in page 235, habit 5, if you read it, it says, seek first to understand, then to be understood. So we bring out the one of the 3 words, understand. Now, if you look at this true meaning of listening, it creates like a deep connection with 3 kind of people, circumstances, individual, so one-on-one. So when we go out and talking to people, it is one-on-one individual, or you can be in a group like Zoom. So if you are here listening, then if you actually deeply listening, and we will get connected to each other. So it's a Zoom. Even you can do it. It's great social media, like Alyssa just said, we can actually still connect to everybody. And self. So we all know that when I look at all the successful people, one of the common things they all share, apart good communicator, is also they all have their self-time. So what is meant by self-time? I think you get up in the morning, it's very important to actually listen to yourself. So talk to yourself is one of the, I think, things I really learned through ASEA business, is to actually listen to myself, to ask yourself questions. And one obstacle between them is the stress that causes us to listen. Like, I actually learned this through my wife. My wife actually said, "You never listen to me." I'm like, "Oh, what do you mean I'm never listening to you? I'm trying to making money and all this." You get stressed. When you get stressed, you stop listening to people. So this time is very, very unique time. It's very, very stressful time, and that we particularly need to take our stress out of it and try to listen to the people on the other side of the phone. We're not going to see each other face to face. We try to listen to other side on the Zoom, or actually in the text. You read them, but you're actually listening to them. It's very important, because why? When we actually listening, we need three things to actually create three things. So I call you need three to create three. So the first thing you need actually to open your mind. Why you have to open your mind? Because you have to, one of my favorite Chinese quote, as said by Confucius, says, "Among three of us walking, there will be one who I can learn from." So if you open your mind and you actually start having the learning process to that person, and that, to me, one of these most important things is know me. Okay, when you actually open your mind, you drop your me. There's no I, there's no me. There's no I or no me in the entire conversation. You drop that. You don't tell your stories. You don't tell. I want to open my mind to listen your story. I want to listen Deni's story. I want to listen Silverman's story. I want to listen all the diamond stories. Because when you listen, you actually learn. So the first rule of the listening is to actually open your mind. Then once you open your mind, what happens? You start focusing. All right, we're having a lot of phones. I know we just talked about social media and stuff like that, but have you found out there's so many circumstances when you go out talking to people, that person on the other side of the table is constantly looking at the phones. Yeah, well, they try to connect it, but they are actually not connecting. All right, it's the same thing. When you actually try to talk to people on the text, if you try to text people, or if you try to talk to people on the Zoom, if you actually constantly, you think people don't know, you screwing your Facebooks, you screwing your WeChat, you think people, they don't know, but they can actually tell. You actually try to looking in other texts, Twitters, look at images, why you actually try to prospect me, or why you try to talk to whatever. And that's, to me, there's no respect. Okay, and people can tell, because people say, did you hear that? You're like, oh, okay, I missed that part. So there's millions posts ping on the social media every day. So when we do actually listen, please guys, take couple of minutes, just when you listen to people, drop your phone, and if you have calling people, that's okay. Don't put on your earphone and try to screw your text. So you want to have screen out all this external noise. And the third thing we need is to play back what we actually heard. So that brings out the no judgment. So when you actually talk to people back, you actually want to have a communicate no judgment. I think that's really important. The true listener, I think, is they never judge people to have that feedback. So you don't say, oh, I think your husband is stupid, or I think your wife is right. You don't put judgment. You just simply say, look, I heard your story. I heard, you having going through a very difficult time, and I want to be here to understand you. I think this is really important. Your boss is joking and all this. I think this is very, very. It's wrong to do that. You just want to give something back, simply just say, look, I heard you. And this is really important to, and once you do that three things, you create another three things. You start creating three very important things. You create curiosity. Why you create curiosity? Because you can't open your mind unless you're curious about something. The only thing we listen to our teachers because we are curious from learning. We want to learn. That's why we start curious. So you bring the curiosity and to people. So people always like to be attracted. I'll feel a lot better when somebody is curious of my story and stuff like that. So curiosity. And the second thing, you actually create a concentration. So you need to concentrate to actually listen to people. Like now, if you actually are chopping your carrots and making avocado, smashing avocado, you're probably going to miss 95% of what is going on this Zoom call. So when you listen, you create a concentration. And then the third thing, the most important thing, you create connection. This is one of the most important things. You start connecting with that person on the other side of camera, on other side of even the text. You can connect that people on other side of the social media. Then they're going to create, the person on the other side is going to create three things. What three things? If you are curious, they are going to curious back. They're going to create interest in you, whatever you want to approach to them. They are interested at you. They're going to be interested at your ASEA. Okay, then if you concentrate, if you focus on them, and if you drop your phone, whatever, just take everything out and focus on them, they're going to pay attention to you. They're going to pay attention to whatever is behind you. It doesn't matter. You don't put this at the front, but they're going to pay attention to you. And the third and the most important thing is when you can create a connection, they create engagement. They are start engaging with you, and they know. So we actually created rules. Then we brought a most important thing, understanding. This is the common, I think, the ground to actually build a friendship, husband, wives, teachers, students. Every single relationship on this planet is built on understanding. When joining this company, I actually looked through all the major successful diamonds, not even in ASEA. Look at everybody in other companies as well. I find it's interesting. There's three profiles that people have actually made quite a lot in the network marketing. One is the doctor, second profession is mom, and third is the teacher. And we look at all these diamonds today. We look at Dr. Silverman. He's obviously a doctor. And if you say, oh, of course, doctor can be a very good, successful in this health sector because they're doctor, they know the knowledge. Then we'll ask you the second question. So why Deni and Alyssa, they will be good at that thing because what, they mom? But then if you look at teachers like Ed, Bart, and then, Alan, Noble, and Bo Buck, all these people, Mel, they are a teacher. So all these three people, they have one common very ground is they actually very, very good communicator. They're actually a very good listener. I want to give my last couple of slides to you. These four words we call in Chinese, we call 望闻问切. As you look at the photos, there's eye, there's ear, there's mouth, and there's a hand. So what does that mean? Is to actually, the first you do is to see and to feel. All right, let me say this. These four words come from a traditional Chinese medicine. Doctors, they have using these four letters, they have to use this word for over 3,000 years. They started this 3,000 years ago, and until now, every single Chinese doctor in China or in Asia or around the world, they diagnose based on these four words. First, they have to see and feel. Second, the most important is to listen. Then is to ask a question. Then the fourth one is to diagnose. So you actually, they always says 80-20. So 80 is to see, to look at, to feel, and to listen. And only 20% is to ask a question, and to diagnose is the end. So I think if we follow this, if we just listen to people, it's going to bring all the answers out because the world has given all the answers that we need. And all we need is to actually learn to listen. I'm just going to finish one of the stories that just a mini story, if I still got a minute. This is actually I learned from my upline, Rich Lee, and he actually taught me this four letter, 望闻问切. And this four letter not just actually helped me on the ground of ASEA business, it actually helped me to build up my leadership, because to being a better leader, to step up in this very, very special time, we need to listen more what actually people around you, what their concern is, what their fear is, what their problem is. Then you give your possibility, you give your positivities, you give your happiness, and through whatever, this or this, and you through this and offer them a great opportunity. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Ed.
That was beautiful, David. Thank you. I really appreciate that. One of the real classic books that I read years ago, starting out in this business, was the Listening for Success.
Yes.
Out of print probably now, but you could probably pick it up on Amazon. Listening for Success. But great lessons, David. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You obviously modeled all of that, and it's evident in your business around the world today. So again, thanks for being a part of this. So another great leader from down under in Brisbane, Australia, is the great Mal Sword. I look at Mal as an absolute legend in the network marketing industry, and I think that's not an overstatement at all. Mal has been a pioneer. He's kind of like me. He's been around this a long time, although he's done a whole lot more. He's built very large businesses and more than one company. And we're so thankful that he's brought his rich experience and his history and his knowledge to ASEA. I've had the pleasure of just working alongside with of Mal in different parts of the world. And I got to tell you, nobody in my opinion can express how to get from 0 to a big number any better than Mal. He's demonstrated it, but he can put it so succinctly. So Mal, it's just great to have you on here tonight. Thank you for taking a break from the rabbits, if that's what you've done. That's his young old boys. He's got a great group of sons. But Mal, you're a real friend and a real hero to everybody on this call. So thanks for being here tonight. Talk to us a little bit about how to get to a big number.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation, and happy Easter to everybody. So I've got my earphones on because I do have the rabbits here. So if you see them wandering around, and anyway, my earphones should protect me from a little bit of the noise. But firstly, just wanted to say thank you very much for the opportunity to share with you today. And the only thing that you didn't say in the introduction, which I was hoping you were going to say, was that I'm also one of those people that kind of drags the average age down of this group substantially. But anyway, most people know that anyway. But thank you. So I've got a few thoughts that I want to share with you today. I'm going to address really the distinction between building the business by addition as opposed to multiplication. And there is a big difference between building a business like this on addition and multiplication. And neither is right or wrong. So I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. It's not kind of how I operate. Every one of you on the call, there's now 435 people. You and I are all independent associates, and we have the freedom in a business like this, of course we do, to build the business the way we want to build the business. So I'm not here to tell you which way to build a business. All I do with people is to share my experience with what I've seen with ASEA over these last 4 years, and to give you a little bit of an insight as to where I think we are in the history of this industry. Many of us in the call, of course, have been in the industry a long time, myself included, 28 years now. And I think we're at an incredibly defining time. And I'll talk about that in a minute, if I may. But let me just talk about the journey when I started with ASEA back in February 2016. And as you've mentioned, and many people know, I've been in the industry a long time. I'd had experience with 2 other companies prior to onboarding with ASEA. And that stood me in good stead, I think, for the journey to join ASEA and to be at this time with what I consider to be the most incredible company in the world, in this industry. We won't see this again. I'll never see another ASEA in my lifetime. I know that, and I don't think most of you on the call will see another ASEA in our lifetime. But when I began in the journey with ASEA in 2016, there's 2 things that I think, in reflection, that I watched in my own journey. Number one was that I was pretty damaged when I started my journey with ASEA, and I always want to say thank you to Doyle and to Bart for bearing with me during a time when I was probably somewhat difficult to deal with. I was hurt, I was wounded, and of course, hurt and wounded people tend to hurt and wound other people. So that's definitely where I was. Some of you on the call might be in that situation as well, where you kind of lost a lot of your self-confidence, a lot of your self-image, your belief in who you are. And that's kind of where I was. I was definitely a wounded warrior when I started my journey back in 2016. And of course, so who was I likely to attract? The kind of people that I was likely to attract were also wounded warriors. And, God bless them. We kind of banded together, and I don't know whether they felt sorry for me or I just wanted to join in because they felt maybe I could take them somewhere. But that's who I was attracting in the early stages. And of course, so the journey in the early part of 2016 for me, was a little slow anyway. And it was for a while. And so, as I reflected so the first part of that was because of where I was. I was wounded and struggling with my mindset, with my belief, my attitude as to whether I could come back one more time. And the second thing that I was doing was I was not clear on the way that I was going to put this together. And I kind of vacillated between building it on the product talking to people about the product, the technology, and how significant it was, and trying to maybe talk people in to the business on the significance of the technology and the product. And then the other part of me was looking for people that were business-minded and business-oriented and leaders. But of course, the people that I was finding maybe were a reflection of who I was. And so it tended to be a little bit slow. And I weathered through that until probably the latter part of 2016. And so then I kind of looked at my results, and I did notice there was a big difference between addition and multiplication. And what I mean by that is that if you build a business like this on addition, by looking for people that want to use the product, customers, if you like, people that are going to have a product experience, you'll get addition, you'll get people that will come on as customers, and yeah, they will add to your volume. And please don't get me wrong, I wish I had another 200,000 of them, and so does ASEA, and they will come. But there's a difference between building by addition and building by multiplication. And what I found in my own organization was when I started to find leaders, attract leaders, and have the leaders that understood and were visionary, ambitious, entrepreneurial, the business started to really skyrocket. And this kind of was late 2016, early 2017. And it was really in that season of early 2017, I guess I was, reviewing the year ahead and where I wanted to go with the business. And I made a decision that I would move my own direction to finding key people. And by this time, I'd listened to a lot of audibles. I was starting to get my mindset, my belief back. The most valuable real estate in the whole world is 6 inches between our ears. And I'd spent a lot of time in 2016 working on that. I still do, by the way. I think it's fundamental to our business. This is really a personal development business. And at the early part of 2017, I made some decisions that I would really start to look for my board of directors, my key people, my visionary people. And from that point, that became my focus. And the business just dramatically transformed. Others can tell you better than I can that we've kept track of the business. But I think within 6 months, 7 months maybe of that, I ranked at diamond, double diamond, and triple diamond within about 5 weeks. And the reason that was I had a multitude of leaders coming on at the same time. And so what changed? If you look at it, what really changed? Yes, I changed direction, but what had really changed was Mal. I had worked on my mind so much that I actually started to believe that I could maybe make it back with ASEA. I worked so intensely on my mindset, my belief. I worked on my belief in abundance. I came to ASEA with nothing, with minus $130,000. Some of you on the call may be in this position as well. I understand that, but it's a lot. Everything's to do with your mind. Everything's to do with your mindset, your belief. If I can come back, you can come back. If I can change, you can change. It really is dependent on the information that you listen to and what you process in your mind and how hard you go after your mindset to change that. Well, as I started to do that, my organization just started to grow. What really changed was me. And I became maybe more visionary, more ambitious, more entrepreneurial again. And I started to attract those people. So here's what happens in the metamorphosis, I think that's the right word, of you and I, we attract who we are. So you've heard me say, some of you heard me say that monkeys will produce monkeys, rabbits, rabbits, and dogs, dogs. And so when we become the kind of leader we want to attract, we will attract them into our world. So that's the difference really between building it as customers and building it by finding the multipliers, the leaders, is that you go about attracting who you are. And I noticed there was a massive difference in my business. Let me just say this, if I may, Ed, from you and I and many of the leaders speaking today, we've been in the industry a long time. This is my belief, and Dr. David Silberman alluded this to as well. We are about to enter into the most significant change in this industry that we've ever seen. The next 2 to 3 years, we'll see an explosion in the numbers of people that adopt network marketing. I'm not just talking about ASEA, but in the growth of ASEA, I believe 3 years from now, ASEA will rank a top 10 company. And I agree with Dr. David Silberman, the year will come when we will rank as number 1. We're on the journey up, we're on the J curve. I was listening to Mike Maloney yesterday. Mike Maloney, for those of you who don't know, is a leading authority in the world on precious metals, silver and gold. And he made this statement. He said, for every person that's died of the virus, the coronavirus in America, 1,144 people have lost their jobs. We have a problem, massive problem behind this virus. This pandemic will go. This will be cleared in weeks or a month or 2 months, it will go. But beyond that, the economic fallout is going to be phenomenal. And the world will look for leaders. The world is going to look for strong, visionary leaders that can pass hope along to somebody else, that they can change their lives, change their circumstances, and in a relatively short period of time from a business that's not capital-based, and you can build from home. Our time has come. This time in the industry has come. And I believe in the next 2 or 3 years, we'll see the greatest growth in the numbers that you and I have ever seen. We're in the right place at the right time, definitely with the right company, definitely with the right leadership, definitely with the right management of the company. It's an incredible opportunity. The time is perfect. So I'm ever so grateful to this company, ever so grateful to Virtus. I always say thank you to Virtus for, allowing me to have the opportunity to be able to come back and leave a legacy for my children. And thank you to Deni, and thank you to you, Ed, as well, to all the leaders that came before that have led me to this journey. So I really appreciate you all. Thank you very much, and thank you for allowing me a little bit of time to share. So I hope I didn't overstay my welcome.
Thank you, Mal. Thank you for your I thank you for your vision and your voice of vision. And I tell you, if anybody's listening to this, whether you're watching it live or recording, don't bet on Mal's forward-thinking statements being wrong. I absolutely believe he's spot on, and we are so well positioned right now. And Mal, I know you know how to understand a good company when you see it. I think you and I share that this is indeed the company we've always hoped we could find. And so we're thank you for your vision, for your leadership. Say hello to the rabbits, especially the Panama Jack for me. All right, I appreciate you taking some time. All right, our final speaker tonight is my good buddy, Bart Conner. You know, I should have thrown up some of the slides that Bart and I have from years past, from fishing for alligators in the Florida Everglades, from riding Harleys across North America to, fishing for salmon in Alaska with grizzly bear in the picture behind us. We got to do that sometime, Bart, and show some of the folks what we've experienced. But Bart Kotter is a great, great leader. Bart and Melissa down in Australia. Bart's an American guy who's gone down under. But Bart, thank you for being here. We've got a few minutes. Listen, by the way, if you're watching this tonight, before you hop off, make sure you know that there's another webinar coming up on this same platform at the top of the hour with some great speakers from here in North America. David just put a post in here, asking questions and listening is the first of the second most important skills. One can develop the second one. He will be speaking tomorrow. We have another one of these webinars basically for the North America and the European market. That will be at 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, Saturday, another Zoom for Saturday. So take note. But Bart, thank you for being here. Thank you for your leadership. Beyond that, your friendship, you and Melissa are just some of my dearest friends. So in fact, I think we're brothers from different mothers. Val, great to have you here. Bart Kotter from, I can't remember now. It used to be Noosa, but it's someplace else in Australia. Bart, are you here, buddy?
Baldora, yes, I am. Yes, I am, Ed. And what an honor to be here today, and what a great group of people to be associated with. And yes, Ed, we have had some incredible experiences. I'm looking forward to many, many more. And we will fish next to the grizzlies, but I'm not going to fish for a grizzly.
No.
Yeah, we definitely need to make it back up to Alaska and do that again. Look, I want to just wrap up with a couple important things that I want to mention. One is, I just am marveled by what's happening right here, right now. Years ago, it's actually in 1998, I believe, I had spent $12,000 to set up video teleconferencing equipment to do exactly what we're doing right now. Because of the idea of being able to work from home is such a blessing to be able to do, instead of all the cost of getting airline tickets and hotels and paying and booking for events and so forth. The challenge back then was these 2 sets of video teleconferencing equipment I had worked like crap, and I ended up throwing it in the garbage. It was virtually worthless. But yet today, right now, we'll have well over 500 people on this call overall, but then it's also on Facebook Live. So literally thousands of people will plug into the message that we're sharing right now. The point of this is that the power that you have to leverage your time and the resources and the talent of people that have gone before us is really quite remarkable. So the other thing that I want to address is what exactly are what's on people's mind more than anything right now? I think that 2 things, and it's pretty obvious. So you might say addressing the elephant in the room, but but people are looking for, number one, they're looking for health. This is absolutely key. Their awareness toward health and staying well, boosting our immune system. Dr. David Silberman talked about that, how the technology boosts the signaling genes and or boost the genes, how these molecules can really help take our health to another level. It was Dr. Dick Walker said, look, this is kind of like the canary in the room, meaning that even if you're not dealing with a health crisis, people have a health crisis going on in their body sometimes that they're not even aware of. We know people whose lives turned upside down overnight because of a heart attack or a stroke or an aneurysm. There's lots of things that can happen. So we're giving people hope physically, but the other thing that people are looking for is financial health. And there's the Chinese say that crisis and opportunity are a symbol that kind of represents the same thing. And I like that because there is an opportunity with every challenge. Every challenge that we ever go through gives us the opportunity to grow and to become more. And there is a time when we all need to step up. And I know in the beginning, when I heard about ASEA, I was in a crisis situation as well. I needed to make a decision. I needed to find something where I could really change and improve our situation. And so I'm incredibly blessed for that. And so, Tony Robbins, I recently heard him speak at on a big event that Eric Worre had put on, and he talked about seasons. And he said that there are 4 seasons that, obviously in the year. And he said, if you look back at many of the top Fortune 500 companies, they actually began their business in a winter season. And obviously this is a winter season with the crisis that's happening right now. So because of the technology and because of the focus of what people are looking for right now, it does give us an opportunity to give people hope again. Jarom Webb talked about hope. Look, I know we're limited on time, but I want to share with you some slides real quickly to just kind of wrap things up here with you. And let me just play a couple things for you. The first thing I want to talk about that I want to just mention is don't leave. It says don't leave home. Obviously, you're probably already home, but don't leave this presentation without making a decision to take action. Seriously, we have a time and opportunity. You can stay in a place of fear and hesitation, just listening, but literally making a decision. I mentioned Tony Robbins. It's literally probably my favorite quote that he has. It's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. And how long does it take to make a decision? Well, it is literally just, it happens that quick. It's literally just a nanosecond. Making the decision to take action, to move forward, because we truly cannot be in a better place than with ASEA to help us through some of these crises. A technology that's second to none, and it's a great opportunity because we can give the gift not only for hope for ourselves, but truly a gift of hope for so many other people. Obviously, we need to, along this line, I just want to mention, I love what David he mentioned, where he talked about listening. The thing that we need to do is to make sure that we approach people with tact. We need to listen to what their challenges, what their situation is, and then look for an area where this can be an area where we can really help them as well. The next thing I want to mention is that we have a huge message. We have a very big message. I remember when I flew to Salt Lake City and I met Bertus Norton for the first time. He stood up at the fly-in presentation. Ed was there at that meeting with us. Deni Robinson was there at that meeting as well. And I remember Bertus said, if people really understood what we have our hands on, he said, we would be bigger than Apple Computer overnight. Truly, the technology and the opportunity is second to none. I feel like we've got an incredible story that we need to share with people. And think of it as a gift. It's a gift of health, and it's also a gift of potential of wealth or financial security for people. And you can let people choose where they come in, where they see how this can fill their needs, but make sure that you just open your mouth and share. The next point that I want to make is it is your time to fly. This is definitely a chance to You can sit in kind of a state of apprehension and fear, or just to make the decision to step out and fly. And also, as you're building and growing and sharing this with other people, it is about duplication. So Mal Sword talked about duplicating and finding leaders. So when we work together collectively, we can really help other people to fly too, to really grow and stretch and to build their self-confidence, build their belief system, build and work in themselves. So definitely it's time to face those fears. So I love this one. How badly do you want it? You know, they say that the most important thing, and I have to agree with this, is your why. What is your reason? What is your why? You know, there is someone out there that is counting on you. Could be your friends, your family. The decision that you make will be a decision that impacts the lives of so many other people. We can look at the people on this line. Ed, if it wasn't for you making the decision to jump in this and share this, I probably, you know, I may not have caught the vision. We could go up to Deni Robinson, the vision that she had when she flew and met, when she met Vertus Norton, made the decision. She talked about Vertus holding her hand and said, this is going to be big. This is important. And so I love the idea. Well, my favorite movie is It's a Wonderful Life, where Jimmy Stewart was given the gift of saying, what would happen if, when he said, I wish I never lived. Well, we have an opportunity to change a lot of people's lives. And this can really be, we can use it as a wake-up call for that matter. So develop your reason why. I would encourage you to use this time to not really pull back, but to think, to dream, to figure out what you want. There's no doubt about it. We all have fears. The toughest real estate are the 6 inches between our own, behind our own 2 ears. So it's really an opportunity to not feed the fear wolf, but feed our positive thoughts, to really get focused on what you want to do and to take action on those. So definitely don't get caught up into fear, because that will absolutely hold you back. And by the way, the best way to conquer your fear is to take action, immediate, decisive action. And one of the things that I absolutely love is the fact where we are working from home, everybody has a telephone, and social media is such a unique thing. Alyssa did a brilliant job on sharing with us how to talk and share this with other people. Even this presentation, you could be able to go onto ASEA United. I see that it's recorded there. You'd be able to share that and tag people into this to hear exactly the message that we've shared today. But there's all kinds of events where we're working collectively and pulling people together, including the event happening directly after this event. You can plug in and will be a Discover ASEA presentation where people are sharing. So there is absolutely no reason why we can't pull together and why you can't use this as a golden opportunity to really make a difference. So I encourage you to absolutely to take action. And with that, I would like to just once again thank Ed for hosting this meeting today and all the other participants. It's just so gratifying to be working with a group of people that, let me just say this, the kind of people who I find that are attracted to ASEA are the people who are self-motivated, they're ambitious, they're people who genuinely like to help other people. They're also the kind of people who want more out of life. And
what do you mean?
That's the kind of people that we've got on this presentation, the kind of people that are attracted to ASEA. And I'm just very proud and honored to be associated with all of you. So with that, Ed, I'm going to go ahead and pass the time back to you. Thanks again.
Thank you, Bart. Again, appreciate if you'll stop sharing your screen, that'd be great. And thank you for your leadership, your friendship. Listen, folks, we've run a little long on this call, but we've had some great content. You know, I'm just going to say this and wrapping up. Many of you mentioned the seasons, you know, the winter and the summer, and how that even whether it's, I know our seasons are flip-flop between here in North America and many of you in Asia, but just what we're experiencing right now in the global sense of the word is kind of a winter. It's a winter season. It's a winter kind of an experience. I'll never forget what Jim Rohn taught us. And he referenced the Bible, and he says, behold the ant. Behold the ant. And he talked about this. He says, ants think winter all summer, and ants think summer all winter. There's a lot in that. I can't go into all that, but just contemplate that. of how important it is to think ahead. Mal talked about it. Think ahead. We are at an amazing time and place right now. History's going to prove, looking back at this chapter, as one of the real foundational chapters for the growth and explosion of our business. So thank you to all of our presenters. Thank you to our president of the company, Jarom, for being with us. Listen, there's a call coming up at the top of the hour, and tomorrow, I think I might be able to actually figure out how to share a screen here real quick. Take a look at this. This is tomorrow, 1:00 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for giving this to me, Alan. But look at the lineup that we have. Our CEO will be with us, some other top leaders. You don't want to miss this tomorrow, 1:00 Eastern. So with that, I'll say good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is where you are. Thank you for being with us. Look for the recording. Get the word out. We've expanded the platform for these webinars, so even tomorrow we can go past the 500 number. Thank you, Alan Noble, our great leader, for doing that. But all of you, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, a great Easter weekend. Celebrate, and let's just look for a collective resurrection of all of what's going on in the world and what's going on in our businesses. God bless you. Take care. Look for the recording, and let's go onward and upward from here.